Hey guys, how's it going? Thank you so much for your participation to today's webinar. This is Jason from Yeastar Tuning Team. I'm actually going to introduce you guys about our new firmware, which is currently available on your PBX. So guys, first of all, don't forget to upgrade your system, and then you will be able to get lots of new features. So let's have a check here. All right. So first of all, I'm going to introduce this new firmware at the very beginning. This new firmware will be available on all of our Yeastar platforms. So you will be able to get the new firmware available on your S-Series PBX, your K2 system, and your Yeastar Cloud PBX. And the version we're going to have here on the S-Series PBX will be 30.13.0.30. And on your K2 system, you will have 80.13.0.30. And the cloud system, we're going to have the new firmware, which will be 81.13.0.30. Okay, so this is going to be a general introduction about this new firmware. And the point is, the point of the point will be new features. So on this new firmware, we're going to support a few new features. I guess generally speaking, we can call this is going to be two major update on our system. With this new firmware. So the first one, or you can call part one will be Linkus updates. So we do make some, updates with our Linkus. So features can be supported with your Linkus UC application. The first one will be CTI mode, and the second one will be contacts. And part two, we're going to have for our new firmware will be, we're going to support some side features for this time, like busy campaign, like fax to PDF, and Opus codec. Anyway, I'm going to keep going for more details. So let's keep going. All right. So first of all, I'm going to talk about some updates available for Linkus solution. Now, as we know, Yeastar, we got a solution which is called Linkus for unified communication for your business collaboration. Now, this time we are going to have a few updates with Linkus solution. So now you can have our Yeastar system with our Linkus UC application on your mobile and your computer. You'll be completely have a very comprehensive solution for your business collaboration. So the first update, which will be available on your Linkus, is called CTI mode. Generally speaking, it's going to be computer telephony integration. This is a quite popular feature for, generally speaking, for call center users. Mostly this is a very popular solution, very popular feature for call center users because, as we know, for call center users, this is very specific. They're gonna stay focused on their computer for their daily work, and simultaneously, they need to handle lots of customer calls with their IP phone. So which means they have to switch from computer to IP phones. Back and forth, right? So the CTI mode will be very functional for them, which means they can simply just stay focused on the computer. And if they're going to call their customers, they don't have to switch it from computer to IP phone. They can simply use the Linkus UC application on their computer to control the IP phone directly. Through your computer. So this is going to be the CTI mode available on our Linkus PC client. But by the way, like I said, this is going to be a pretty popular solution for call center users mostly. But for today's business, nowadays for more than business users, I guess more and more customers they also prefer to have this feature on their Linkus PC client. Of course, some basic business users absolutely they also prefer to have this feature because it will be very functional for everyone, not just for call center user. For example, if I'm a basic business user, if I'm just a end user, absolutely, I prefer to have this feature. It will be very functional for me. It can help me to save lots of time. I don't have to, switch from my computer to my IP phone. Of course, we can use Linkus PC client directly, but if we can have CTI mode, why not? Because if I'm going to use CTI mode, absolutely, I'm going to use headset with my IP phone. And as we know, if we're going to use headset with my IP phone, those type of headset will be very professional, quite good quality. You will absolutely get a very good quality for your audio connection. So absolutely, I guess if this is going to be possible, so why not? So anyway, just like I said, this CTI mode will be supported, available. It will be supported. It will be available on your Linkus PC client for now. All right. And by the way, guys, let's have a check here. So the CTI mode will be supported on our Linkus, but actually it's not available for all of our Yeastar models. Just be careful. You will not going to be able to have the CTI mode on your S20 and S412. Okay. So if you're going to have the CTI mode feature, if you want to have this function available on your Linkus PC client, make sure your system is S50, S100, S300, K2 system, or Cloud PBX. So any of them, it will be supported with the CTI mode. And by the way, this is going to be a built-in feature, so totally there's no license charge. Same as Euro, all of our basic Yeastar features are completely, without license. So you guys just simply upgrade your system and you're just ready to go with this new CTI mode on your Linkus PC client. All right, talking about the CTI mode, I guess probably some of you guys may have a question is, how does it work? Probably we just want to know more details about this. Let's have a check here. So the CTI mode, generally speaking, there are two types of working mechanism for you to figure out the configuration. I mean, when you try to make it work. Uh, our CTI mode, actually, we can support CSTA mode. All right, we're going to realize the CTI by CSTA, but just be careful, guys. Here's the tips. When you try to use the CSTA for the CTI, actually, it's not for all kinds of IP phones. Just like I posted here, a few models from A-Link and Fanville, some specific models they're going to be supported by CSTA for the CTI. Okay, this is very important. While as for other models or some other brands of IP phones, don't worry, we can still make it work with AMI. Okay, so two methods are totally supported. They both are supported on our system. Just be careful if you have some specific models from A-Link and Fanville, you're going to realize the CTI by CSTA. Well, the difference between CSTA and AMI, I guess this form totally tells us everything, right? So all these control features will be totally supported by CSTA, and if we're gonna work with AMI, features are limited. Okay, now let's have a check here. For the CTI mode, actually, if we're going to use CSTA for CTI, pretty simple for your configuration. It's pretty easy to get started. You can simply, jump into the Yeastar system, go for the settings, click on General, and we have SIP here. You just click on SIP, then go access the advanced. So on my right side corner here, you guys can see we have enable UACSTA connection. Simply just check that. That's pretty simple. And by the way, guys, this option has been enabled automatically, I guess. So honestly, you don't have to do anything there. You can just make the CTI work on your Linkus PC client directly. Okay. So with the help of the CTI mode, actually, look like this. Once you guys upgrade your system and upgrade your Linkus PC client simultaneously, you will have this, guys. Check this out. Things are going to be a little bit different. So on the left side corner here, the icon, you guys can actually, choose the mode of your PC client. You can set it as the softphone mode, or you can set it as CTI mode. So if you're going to use it as softphone mode, so which basically means if you're going to make a call, you're going to use this application on your computer for that call. And if you're going to switch it to CTI mode, well, this application on your computer will not going to help you to make a call directly. Instead, you're going to use this application on your on your computer to control your desktop IP phone. That's the CTI. So now you can simply just, plug your headset. Now you can just use your IP phone for better quality, better audio quality, call. That will be a pretty good solution for call center users, absolutely, and also for some basic business users. Okay. Besides that, guys, one thing I guess is very quite ironic here is going to be this, this tiny icon you guys can see here. I mean, the interface is very user friendly. If you choose CTI mode here, you can also get the, we're also going to tell you guys the IP phone model. So for example, like my screenshot here, you can see CTI A-Link SIP-T54W. That will be your phone model. Okay, now let's keep going. I guess I got a few tips to tell you guys. Very helpful, very important, very informative. Let's have a check here. Now, the first thing will be notification. So this notification is quite interesting. If you're if you're going to use the CTI mode, all right. For example, Linkus will switch back to software mode automatically if desktop phone is not available for the connection. Now, which basically means if we're going to use Linkus for CTI, and now currently, if you got something wrong with the IP phone connection or IP phone registration, any type of issue may happen. Well, you will actually get notified by your Linkus PC client. So it's quite user friendly. We're not going to confuse you. You will just get this notification directly. So for end users, I guess this is pretty user friendly. They won't get confused if there's something wrong happened on their IP phone connection. Anyway, they will just get notified. The system gonna just tell them that, hey, you got something wrong with your, IP phone connection. So we're gonna switch it back to soft phone mode automatically. Now, if we're gonna make a call, just go ahead with the PC client. Okay. And the second one we're gonna have here will be, the ring strategy. Let's have a check here, I guess. So ring strategy is pretty easy. If you're gonna use the CTI mode, guys. If you don't use CTI mode, so when you try to figure out the ring strategy configuration, we get three options available for you. You can choose IP phone, ring first. You can choose Linkus mobile client, ring first, or ring secondly. You can also have another option, which is Linkus PC client. Well, just be careful if you make your Linkus work as CTI mode, under the CTI mode. So you can see the ring strategy here, we're not going to be able to have Linkus PC client anymore. Just keep that in your mind. Okay. And the third one will be another, notification. Still, like I said, this is going to be quite user friendly for end users. So if there's something wrong happened or a ring strategy, anyway, just like I said here, you will be notified while switching to CTI mode on Linkus whether select IP phone in the ring strategy. Anyway, so this is quite user friendly. We're just going to notify our end users if they make some changes here. Okay, now let's keep going. I guess that was all for the CTI modes. It's pretty simple. Nothing complicated. You guys can just upgrade your system, have a test. And the next part, I guess I'm going to talk about another new feature for helping you guys to upgrade your Linkus solution, which is going to be our context feature. So let's keep going. First of all, guys, the context feature, it will also be supported. Very similar with our CTI mode. It's not going to be available for all of our models. Actually, some of our models can support it. So I just posted here. You guys can see this context feature will be available on your S50, S100, S300, K2 system, and our Yeastar Cloud PBX. All right. And still, this is going to be a built-in feature without license. Okay, so if you upgrade your system, it's just ready to go. And this context feature, we actually prefer to call it Yeastar Native Context Management. So why? Check this out. I guess talking about this Yeastar Native Context Management, I think we can start talking about our targets. So what kind of customers will be targets for this new feature? When we try to introduce this new feature to our customers, who will be the targets? Let's have a check here. I guess the first type of targets will be mobile workers. Absolutely, this is nothing special. We got lots of customers, lots of end users. They were using Linkus, Yeastar Linkus on their computer for a really long time because this is a quite functional feature for them. Very flexible for them. They can just have a mobility extension on their mobile, on their computer, wherever they are. They will always be connected, right? So the new feature will be a pretty good solution for them. Guess what? Because now, if you're gonna work remotely, or you're just you're just gonna carry this mobility extension with you for business trip for whatever you want, just out of the office. That's quite good. That's pretty cool. But if it's going to be possible for you to use this application on your mobile to manage your contacts, that will be better, right? So this new feature will be a pretty good idea for them because now the contacts feature can be supported on your system. Now, which basically means you can just use your system. You can create a lots of company contacts, or you can use your Linkus application to create personal contacts. So it will be totally synchronized, guys. The point is, the contacts will be totally synchronized from your server, from your PBX, on your mobile, on your computer, on your terminal devices. So that's pretty cool wherever you are. I mean, it doesn't matter where you are. You can just take the Linkus application with you. So if you want to manage your contacts, you want to call them, or you just want to figure out who is calling you right now, you can just make it work directly. So this is, I guess, this is going to be the first type of our targets. And the second type of our targets, I guess, will be some LDAP users. Honestly, guys, previously we don't have this contacts feature. Previously, we just have LDAP server feature. So, which means many years ago, previously, for some customers, if they're looking for a contact management solution with Yeastar, the answer is just LDAP server. So, as we know, LDAP server is kind of like old-fashioned way for you to manage your contacts. I mean, it's very basic. It's okay if you want to use it, but honestly, I mean, frankly speaking, if you're gonna use LDAP server on your system, uh, for example, for me, my personal preference, I'm not gonna use this feature because it's really complex. I mean, for end users, especially for end users, it's quite complex for them to figure out LDAP server configuration. And secondly is it's very limited. There's only one way for you to access your contacts with LDAP server feature, which is go through, which is by your IP phone. You can just use your IP phone to check your contacts configured on this LDAP server. So it's quite limited. I mean, the features. So not users, it's not so user friendly. So the point is, I guess, for some LDAP users, because we do have lots of LDAP users, I guess this is going to be a pretty good opportunity for us to introduce a new solution for them. And absolutely, I guess uh, this new feature will be quite acceptable for them. Absolutely, because we can provide them a better user experience. You don't have to configure this, LDAP server anymore. You can completely, check your contacts, manage your contacts with this application. So quite simple. And the third type of our targets, I guess, will be SME users. So in other words, just some new customers. New customers, new SME users, they're totally looking for easy and convenient UC solution for now. I mean, things are going to be completely different. Many years ago, perhaps our customers, they're just looking for IP-based telephony system, but for now, I guess people are start thinking about more advanced features for their business collaboration. I mean, not just for IP-based telephony system. They want to have something more. So I guess this is also gonna be our business opportunity. We can just introduce this Yeastar comprehensive collaboration solution to our customer. We can just tell them that our system is totally way more than just a telephony system. You can use this box for a telecommunication. You can also use this box for collaboration. You can manage your contacts, you can use it for mobility extension, you can use it for, instant message, for documents sharing. Anyway, this is going to be a comprehensive solution. So I guess this is going to be our, another business opportunity. So that was a general introduction about this new feature. Let's keep going. Okay. So next part I'm going to talk about here will be the capacity. Talking about the context feature, absolutely we just need to figure out the capacity on, every single model. So on your S50, you will be able to create 500 company contacts maximally. And you will also be able to have 300 personal contacts per user. Keep that in your mind, guys. And for S100, we're going to support 1,000 company contacts totally, and personal contacts will be the same, 300 per user. And for S300, we can have 3,000 company contacts maximally. And personal contacts, like I said, it's going to be the same thing, 300 personal contacts for per user. K2 system will be larger, absolutely. So totally we can have 20,000 company contacts with 300 personal contacts for per user. Okay, and then Cloud PBX. Cloud PBX is quite special, guys. You know what? Because our Yeastar Cloud PBX is based on multi-instance, so which means you can absolutely just create a virtualized Cloud PBX by yourself, by your will. You can create a Cloud PBX with 25 users. You can also create a Cloud PBX with, 130 and 35 users, whatever you prefer. My point here is the capacity for every single Cloud PBX is quite flexible. But anyway, it doesn't matter what capacity you have on each Cloud PBX. All of them, they can just support 1,000 company contacts totally for every single Cloud PBX, and personal contacts will be the same, 300 personal contacts per user. Okay, now let's have a check on some functionalities. First of all, guys, the contacts feature is pretty easy for you to manage, for you to create. Like I said, it's not gonna be old-fashioned way, like LDAP server. So it's pretty simple. When you try to use this feature, you simply log into your system. Just like what you have with other features, you can just click on it. You can create new contacts directly as a super administrator. And then we can support company contacts and personal contacts. Well, the difference between company contacts and personal contacts, quite simple. Company contacts is totally created by super administrator. It's going to be available for all of your internal users. That's company contacts. And personal contacts is totally out of my business if I'm a super administrator. I cannot manage the personal contacts. It's just the business for every single user. So like if you're extension user 1000, you can just create 300 personal contacts by yourself on your Linkus PC client or Linkus mobile client. That's it. And also another thing here is this contact feature will be completely synchronized on your Linkus PC client and mobile client. So absolutely, that's why I said this is going to be a pretty good solution for business collaboration. So take your Linkus wherever you are. If you want to manage your contacts, just grab your mobile, take your computer. Okay. And of course, we can also change the user privilege to control the contacts. For example, like I said, we're going to be able to have company contacts, for S50, we are going to have 500 company contacts. And as for every single user's user privilege, it's going to be customizable for me. So I can change the user privilege to manage the company contacts totally. And the last one will be import and export. So if you want to import, a bunch of contacts by yourself, just go ahead. Okay, so here's an example, guys, about the user privilege, which I mentioned before. So you guys can see currently I have 4 company contacts, so I can absolutely change the user privilege to manage them. So I can select view company contacts only. For example, I select 2001 Ina. So currently her user privilege is nothing special, but check the company contacts only. That's it. But I will also be able to change the user privilege to something else, like managed company contacts. So if I set your user privilege as managed company contacts, things are going to be completely different. You can check the company contacts. You can also modify it. You can also edit. You can, add a new context, whatever you prefer. Here's an example. So if I set the privilege as view company contacts, you guys can see this is going to be your mobile client. And when you tap it, nothing you can do but, just checking. Well, if I change the privilege as managed company contacts, well, still you're going to use your application on your mobile, but you will be able to do something for the modification. All right. So if you want to add a new contact, you want to change some information, just go ahead. This is going to be the difference between managed company contacts and view company contacts. Okay. And like I said, this is going to be completely synchronized on your Linkus mobile client and PC client. So you can just use the application to manage it easily. And about the personal contacts, I guess, nothing special. Just be careful. Here's the icon is a little bit different on your application. You can see there's two types of icons. We got a suitcase, we got a person's head. So if you choose suitcase, that's actually the company contacts, and this tiny head actually is your personal contacts. Okay. I guess one thing important about the personal contacts, just be careful. Personal contacts is visible for every single user only. All right. It's not going to be visible for super administrator. It's like I said, it's just out of my business. Okay. Of course, this feature can also support Linkus desktop. So you can also use your Linkus desktop for, all the basic features I mentioned before. Totally synchronized. And if there's a new incoming call, like you got an unknown number right now, you can, simply add it to a new contact directly. This is also, very user friendly. Okay, so let's keep going. Another important information, guys. For the synchronization, I just told you that we can support Linkus client on your computer, on your mobile, but simultaneously, we can also support the synchronization on your IP phone. But just be careful. The IP phone we can support the synchronization is only A-Link phone. Currently, we can only support A-Link. So if we're using some other IP phone, some other brands, we don't support it. But if we're gonna use A-Link IP phone, it's gonna be synchronized as well. You can use this remote phone book feature. Okay. And we have advanced caller ID management, which means the caller ID match feature. Caller ID match feature, nothing special, but one thing special here is fuzzy matching. I guess this is quite interesting. The fuzzy matching means, for example, my personal preference to add in my contacts, I usually put country code there. And if this is going to be a domestic call, the service provider, the carrier, they're not going to send caller ID with country code because that's weird. This is a domestic call. So if I set my contacts information with country code, absolutely I will not going to be able to have caller ID match feature. But now we support fuzzy matching, so it doesn't matter what type of personal preference you have there. You can put country code or without country code. It doesn't matter because once we enable fuzzy matching, so just don't worry, go ahead. Totally, the caller ID match feature will be automatically enabled. Okay. All right, guys, a few things you won't miss here, very important. Now, the first thing I'm going to talk about here will be priority, the context priority. So when you try to use this caller ID match feature, all right, mostly we're going to have some local contacts on your mobile or computer. Sometimes you probably have your local contacts just on your mobile. So the priority to match your contacts, absolutely, we're going to take your local contacts as the first priority rather than the company contacts or personal contacts. Okay, so keep that in your mind. All right, and the second one I'm going to talk about here will be, I guess, it's about the context creation. So if you want to create a new contact on your Linkus PC client and mobile client, that's fine, that's okay. But if you want to add multiple contacts through your Linkus, I'm sorry, it doesn't support like Bellcat. So if you want to use Bellcat, you can only access the computer. I'm sorry, the web GUI of your PBX to create a bunch of contacts directly. Okay. And the third one, just like I mentioned before, currently A-Link is the only brand of IP phone which can be supported with this remote phone book feature. All right. That's very important. I'm sorry, guys, I got a wrong typing here. It can display 1000. Oops, sorry, guys. So just like I posted here, it can display 1000 contacts information maximally. I'm sorry about this wrong typing, all right? It's not it's actually it. I'm sorry. Okay, now let's keep going. All right, now I guess that was all we have for part one. Some updates available on your link solution now, and part two, I'm gonna talk about some new, site features. So, like I said, site features, nothing special, but it will be quite helpful. The first site feature will be support on our system is called Busy Campaign. Nothing special. It's a very basic feature. And this basic compound feature will be supported on all of our platforms. So you can have it on your S series PBX, on your K2 system, and your cloud PBX. Okay. By the way, guys, our busy compound feature can only be supported for, on the internal calls. Like if you want to start a call between extensions, you can use the busy compound. It's not going to be available for external calls. Okay. So how can we use this feature? For example, if we enable busy compound, now I'm going to use extension 1001 to call extension 1002, and currently extension 1002 is not available. So I get a no answer or maybe busy anyway. Now if I enable the busy compound feature, so once the extension 1002, he or she is back to normal, then the system gonna send me a call back automatically, and I can just just make another call directly. So this is kind of like a busy compound feature. Nothing special. When you try to use this busy compound feature, you can access the general setting, click on feature code. This is going to be the feature code for you to enable this feature, all right? Which is asterisk 76. That's the feature code for you to enable it. If you want to disable it, it's going to be asterisk 076. Okay, all right. Now, the second side feature we're going to have is fax to email. We do support fax to email feature, and now fax to email, we can support PDF. So if you want to check your fax to email, you want to check this email, you're going to have the PDF. So this is a second side feature. And still, this is going to be supported on all of our models, S-Series PBX, K2 system, and our cloud PBX. And number three is going to be a codec. This codec was actually called Opus. Opus codec will be supported right now, but not available not available on all of our systems. So we're going to support codec, this Opus codec on our K2 system and our cloud PBX. So which means now you guys will have a better audio quality with this codec on your K2 and your cloud PBX. And the last one, number four. Number four is we also get another update on our high availability solution, guys. Our system, we support high availability solution, our on-premise system, like S-Series PBX and K2 system, okay? Our solution for redundancy for high availability is actually called hot standby. It's nothing special, it's just a basic feature. So this time we have this very important update. It's about the Linkus cloud service. Previously when you try to enable the hot standby feature for redundancy, you actually need to get two Linkus cloud service subscription. You have to subscribe Linkus cloud service on your primary system and your secondary system simultaneously. So you have to buy it for twice. Well, now we just make it be better, make it be much easier, more user friendly, which simply means you can just get Linkus Cloud Service. Just subscribe Linkus Cloud Service for one time on your primary system. All right. And now, once you enable once you enable the hot standby feature for redundancy, your Linkus Cloud Service subscription status will be synchronized from your primary system to your secondary system automatically. So if your primary system gets something wrong, like out of service, when the secondary system takes over of everything, don't worry about the Linkus Cloud Service. It will be enabled automatically. You can just keep it work. Keep it work with your secondary system, same as Euro. So this is gonna be the last one I'm gonna talk about for today's webinar. All right. Okay, guys, guess that was all we have for this webinar. Hopefully everything's clear, everything will be informative for you guys. And if you have any questions, please just let me know through the chatting panel. All right.